Hello, my name is Michael Spicer, and I don't think much has changed since 1999. Except me, I look like this.
Hello, my name is Dustin McBride.
I mean, sure, some things have changed. The internet is now everywhere, rather than inside a computer on a home office desk in the corner of the living room, and AI is threatening our way of life at every turn. But apart from that, what's actually changed? For example, Coldplay brought out their first album in 2000 and continue to make music today. And I'm sure they'd be the first to point out that in terms of artistic evolution, they haven't really matched in 24 years what, say, the Beatles did in 6. The early 2000s were really weird, and what's weirder about them is that they haven't gone anywhere. We are still living in the early 2000s. Nothing's changed, nothing's shifted, nothing's moved forward. The only difference is that our phones don't flip. Although flip phones are making a comeback too. So no, there's no difference. In the early 2000s, we were obsessed with television, and we still are. It's just that we consume it differently through streaming platforms. But have the programs changed? Have our tastes changed? No, we're still watching repeats of Friends. The main difference today is that you have more choice. You have unlimited choice. If you want to watch a specific film, you can go and find it. You don't have to go to Blockbuster Video anymore. You don't have to go to LimeWire and accidentally download several viruses trying to find a watchable version of Stuart Little 2. Now you can watch whatever film you want, whenever you want. Unless, of course, you subscribe to Disney Plus, who removed 120 titles from its platform in February alone because of cost-cutting measures. Excuse me. LimeWire.com. Oh, damn, I've just downloaded 53 viruses. But films have changed since the early 2000s, haven't they? I mean, if you forget the continuation of franchises like Jurassic Park and the Fast and Furious films, and of course all the Marvel films that began in earnest in 2002 with Spider-Man, and they haven't really changed that formula in 22 years. If you forget all of that, the first 2 decades of the 21st century have given us some truly original work. Amongst this body of originality, you had Ocean's 11, which was a remake, but no one watched it, so it's fine. You had King Kong, also a remake, but it was ages ago. The Pink Panther, not quite a remake, same character, but this was a different film, and it was rubbish, so not the same. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, nothing like the original because it lacked charm and was just awful. And The Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage, which had bees at the end. All right, you can have that one. That was a remake. And of course, the Batman films. Sorry, The Dark Knight. The comic book angle has been done by Tim Burton, so I want to explore his psyche, his fears, his ideology. This is still about the man who dresses up as a bat. My film would not be about a man who dresses up as a bat. My film would be about a man who is lost. A man searching for answers. A man at a crossroads. Does he dress up as a bat, though? Well, yes, but... Right, so we don't want to make this too pretentious, do we? I mean, we still want this film to be, entertaining and fun. This film about a man who dresses up as a bat. Yes, but I also want to make a film that deconstructs his identity, that challenges the audience's preconceptions of the male hero in mainstream fiction. In this film about the man who dresses up as a bat. Yes. Is he still going to wear like a hooded mask that gives him little pointy bat ears? Yes. Right, yes. I just don't see how serious people are going to take this film if it is about a really rich man who wears a bat costume with little pointy bat ears. You underestimate the cinema-going public. Maybe, but what I do know is that unless you put car chases and explosions and baddies in this film, people really aren't going to give a flying fig about the fragile psyche of a really rich man who dresses up as a bat with little pointy bat ears. Well, of course there's going to be action in it. This film is going to be nearly 3 hours long, so there's going to be plenty of time. Fucking what? Nearly 3 hours? You want to make a film lasting nearly 3 hours about a really rich man who dresses up as a bat with little pointy bat ears? It's more than that. It's an exploration of character. It's about a man pushed to the brink. It's going to be one of the most powerful comic book adaptations of all time, and probably one of the most outstanding action movies ever made. All right, fine, yeah, I'm in, whatever. But this time, Chris, can you at least make it so that the music doesn't drown out all the dialogue? No. Okay, so in the early 2000s you had comic book movies, action film franchises and remakes. Similar to today. In fact, exactly like today. But music was different. Music has definitely changed in 24 years, hasn't it? I mean, forgetting that thing that I said earlier about Coldplay. Take emo. Emo is a perfect example. Emo broke into the mainstream in the early 2000s with bands like Panic at the Disco, Paramore, and My Chemical Romance. Then it died. Those bands, and many more besides, just abandoned their emo roots in favour of other styles like pop punk, synth pop, eco pop, and new age thrit pop. Those last two I just made up, but I bet you thought they were real, didn't you? But here's the thing. Apparently, emo is back. Or rather, it never went away. That's according to a Vice article from 2022, which suggests that a combination of social media trends, nostalgia for the early 2000s, and established emo bands reinventing their sound for the next generation means that emo never went away. It's always been around. And so has every other genre. There's no such thing as a dead genre of music. They may have their time in the mainstream, but that doesn't mean that once that's over, everyone connected to it puts their instruments down and stops being passionate about it. And this is the crux of why nothing has changed culturally in 20 years. Because the internet and social media has seen to it that every single group, no matter how small, has their space online. There's no underground anymore. There's no overground. It's just everything everywhere all at once. So the world is not going to be gripped collectively by a cultural phenomenon anymore, whether that's TV, music, fashion, or film. That is over. You are not watching or reading or listening to the same things that I am. We can just split off and absorb whatever we want online. We're not limited to one particular cultural shift. The days of everyone in the country sitting down in front of the television to watch the same programme at the same time every week are gone. I mean, we could recreate it or bring it back for the TikTok generation, but I'm not sure it would work, really. Oh God, sorry I'm late. Has it started yet? It's starting now. I thought I was going to have to tape it. I'm sorry, it's the traffic. And now on TikTok, it's time for another edition of Videos of People Who Take Ages to Make a Point. Oh my God, you guys, you're never going to guess what just happened to me in the store just now. I was in a store, a clothes store. I won't say which clothes store it was, because I'm like, whatever. So I'm in the clothes store, and I'm looking for clothes. And when I'm shopping for clothes, I'm like, whatever, I keep myself to myself, I don't, God, I love this show. So I'm just going about my business. And we don't experience culture collectively anymore. We branch off and find our own little pockets of interest. And that's why, weirdly, it doesn't feel like we're moving forwards. We're moving forwards in terms of technological advancement, but in terms of culture, we're just floating. That's why you can watch a movie from 2004 and it won't dawn on you that it's 20 years old until you spot a piece of old technology like a flip phone or a Blueberry iMac. Do you remember when Marty McFly first arrived in Hill Valley in 1955? It was another planet. Nothing made sense. If Marty McFly was 17 today and went back 30 years, he'd be in 1994. The only thing that wouldn't make sense to him as he walked round Hill Valley in 1994 would be that phones are just phones and not devices that connect you to the rest of the world. Everything else would be fairly familiar. Because it was around this time, the mid-1990s, that people were talking about the World Wide Web, about online communities. Things were changing. And by the year 2000, they did change. But now they've stopped changing. This is it. Nothing's changing. Nothing will change. Ever. It doesn't matter that it's 2024. That's meaningless. It's only in terms of technology that time can be measured. Culturally, it could be 2008 right now. It could be 2017. 2017? What was that year? What happened then? What happened? Nothing. It could be 2002. It could be 2037. I could have posted this video from 2037 and you wouldn't really know. How terrifying is that? However, the good news is that your wardrobe will last longer. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please do like and subscribe. Sorry, that's quite an old-fashioned term here in 2037. Sorry, here Google owns everyone's brains, so all you need to do is just think your approval and it gets added to YouTube's algorithms. Bye.